Hello everyone and welcome to 3D Voyagers, where we look at everything 3D, game development and more. Right, so obviously on this video, because you're trying to decide which software is the best, right, between Blender and Maya, which platform is worth your time in terms of learning. Well, this video I've structured it from a career focus perspective. Right, I'm going to be giving you the pros and the cons so that you are fully informed by the time that you finish watching this video. And at the end, I'm going to give my personal verdict, being in tech for over 20 years. Right, so one of the most important things between Blender and Maya that everyone knows about is the cost. Right, so Blender is absolutely free, while Maya, you literally have to break the vault. Right, for most of us, especially if you're just getting started, you don't really know which software you want to do, you don't know what is going to be your career projection. Right, Maya might really look like it's not really something you want to get into, but don't brush Maya off. Right, that's the whole point of this video. I'm going to be giving you all the facts between the free Blender and also the little bit of more expensive Maya, and at the end you can decide which one is the best for you. So let's look at the pricing structure for Maya. Right, this is a very important point. Right, just giving you all the information that you need to know as per the uploading of this video. These prices are absolutely accurate. Right, so you get the full version Maya. Right, we are looking from a yearly perspective in terms of subscriptions. Right, so the full version of Maya is going to cost you around 1,875 US dollars. Right, and then we have the little known secret called Maya Indie. Right, that is going to cost you around $305 per year. Right, but there is a caveat: you can't actually make a revenue of over 100,000, right, if you're on Maya Indie. Right, and of course there is Flex. Right, so Flex, basically you get Maya Creative. There was Maya LT a couple of years ago, a year, 2 years ago. It's no longer available, it's been discontinued. There's now Maya Creative, which is now only available under Maya Flex. There's no longer a subscription for it. Right, so that's one of the things. Maya, you have to pay for it. Right, because Maya is used in a more professional sense. Right, multiple AAA studios, they use Maya, which is something that we're going to be talking about in the video. Right, so these are your options when it comes really to jumping into Maya. Or you can actually opt for the educational route. So the educational route, you get it absolutely for free, you get all the bells and whistles, but you can't launch anything commercially. Right, so that's one thing that you need to actually keep in mind. You can get the educational route if you qualify, right, and you're in an institution, you apply, they approve you, you're going to be able to use it educationally, but you can't launch a commercial product. Of course, that caveat is not there when it comes to good old free Blender. So when it just comes to the cost, you might actually think, you know what, I don't even need to watch the rest of the video, I'm going to go with Maya. But that's not the full story. Right, you need to stick around all the way to the end, because there are very important things that you need to know. So looking at features, the Maya, you see here, there's best for the full Maya product range with everything. Is for professional studios, VFX artists, right, and of course Maya Indie, individual creators, freelancers on a tight budget. This is a very good option. And of course Flex is pay as you go users. And when it comes to features, of course with Maya, full range of features: advanced rendering, dynamics effects, multi-threaded GPU rendering. Right, and also when it comes to Maya Indie, essential features, but it lacks Encloth, Bitfrost, XGen, Anode Render, and many others. Right, so those might be actually deciders for you. If you don't get those, then it doesn't really make sense for you. So you might only be left with Maya, or you are left with the educational one. Right, so this is a serious decision that you have to make, or you might actually just want to go the Flex route. Right, so obviously considering the cost, for some, like I said, they might just say, I'm going to go with Blender. Right, I don't even need to consider that, but that's not the full picture. Right, so now let's come to deciding for your career. When you want to decide between these two softwares, you need to think ahead. Right, in terms of your career, you're going to be spending a lot of time learning this one of these tools, right? So you need to seriously think, are you going to take this seriously? And just remember also the kind of person that you are. We as humans, sometimes we start doing something for fun, and then at the end of the day, guess what? We are more serious about it, right? And we're now getting into it. So it's very important to decide right from the word go. Know what type of person you are. If you really get into this, you see you're really getting excited. Let's say you choose Blender for now, but you see that you really enjoy creating animation, modeling in 3D and all that. You're really getting into it. You're spending tons and tons of time. Pause, come back to this video. That's why it's important to subscribe right now and click the notification bell, right? So that you go back and decide on your career which one is the best, right? It's very important, right? So now let's look at the most pertinent things that you need to know about. So when it comes to Blender, it's mainly for 3D generalists, right? So Blender versatility, it shines around 3D generalists, right? So you can master modeling, sculpting, animation, simulation, rendering, composing, making you a really valuable asset for smaller studios or independent projects, right? So if you become a master in Blender, you can be a really valuable asset for smaller studios or independent projects that are using Blender, right? And also when it comes to game development, Blender's growing popularity in game development makes it a viable choice. You can create 3D assets, environments, and even animations for mobile and indie games, right? And when it comes to motion graphic artists, Blender's Eevee real-time rendering engine lets you create stunning motion graphics and animations without the hefty render times. This opens doors to advertising, marketing, and explainer video creations. So you can see some of the revenue aspects that you can actually generate some revenue online, right? Create a business around just Blender, and maybe you can just want to work in advertising, right? Or just in marketing, explainer video creation, right? Uploading your work and being a freelancer, right? Like on Fiverr, or even an entrepreneur, right? So Blender's free and open source nature makes it ideal for solo ventures. You can offer 3D modeling, animation, rendering services to clients at competitive rates, right? So as you can see, if you want to hustle but you don't want the hassle of the cost surrounding with the software that you use, Blender, right, is the obvious choice, right? And if you are really small, you really don't want to drop $1,800 just to get a software, right? This is your choice. But also keep in mind that with Maya, there are certain advantages which we are going to look at now. So with Maya, creator, animator, Maya reigns supreme in creator animation. Its robust rigging tools and industry standard workflow make it the go-to software for AAA game studios and animation houses. So AAA, those are the best of the best, right? When it comes to game development, when it comes to animation houses. So if you want to land a job at a AAA studio, Maya is the software that you should learn, right? No questions asked, right? So in that case, then you might consider getting the educational with a job into the AAA studio or animation houses, right? Maya reigns supreme because they use Maya. So, but still wait for my verdict, right? Very important. And also when you're looking at VFX artists, Maya's powerful dynamics, simulation effects tools are perfect for creating realistic visuals, effects for film, television, and commercials. Technical director, pipeline specialist. So you're kind of like integrating DevOps pipelines, sort of like within the 3D game development space. Maya's established pipeline integration and customization options make it ideal for managing complex workflows in large studios. You'll be responsible for optimizing pipelines and ensuring smooth asset creation, right? And then 3D filmmaker, Maya's comprehensive toolset allows you to create entire animated films or short films from storyboard to final rendering, right? Without needing to import a whole bunch of other softwares as you might need with Blender, right? So as you can see, from a career perspective, you want to work for large gaming houses, want to be involved in large animation houses, definitely Maya is the way to go. Or you can just look at being a technical director or pipeline specialist, right? So pipeline basically means you are just developing in more like a DevOps framework, right? If you don't know DevOps, you can just check. There are a bunch of videos available on YouTube, right, on what DevOps is. So you can just specialize in that aspect of Maya, right? So it offers a plethora of advantages when it comes to that. So let's look at the most pertinent information, right? Key focus is between Maya and Blender, right? So when it comes to career focus, for Blender, it's generalist, game dev, motion graphics, freelance, right? And when it comes to Maya, character animation, VFX, character director, and filmmaking, right? And strengths, versatility, free and open source, real-time rendering. And the strengths for Maya: powerful animation tools, industry standard, VFX, and simulation. So this is where now you really have to be very careful when you're deciding. If you are deciding to go more into a professional environment and you want to actually go and work for those AAA studios or established animation gaming companies, definitely Maya is the choice, right? And then on the job market view, growth in game dev and freelance, competitive in others. So it's growing when it comes to game development and freelance, right? So there are some studios that are using Blender, but most of the most professional studios are just deciding to use Maya. It's established in animation and VFX, so it's in high demand. So there's a high demand on the market for 3D specialists or animation specialists, game developers or game modelers. In Maya, there's a high demand to the job space. But if you just want to do your own freelance thing, you're starting your own company, your little own indie sort of like situation, Blender definitely will be the option, right? So now we have come to the verdict. My verdict at 3D Voyagers, right, is something that I have told a lot of students over the years, that I've taught tons and tons of different stuff in information technology, right? So 2 words: don't discriminate, right? I meet a lot of people with this type of debates, right? Maya and Blender, Linux or Windows. A lot of people will be like, I am on the Windows team, or I am on the Linux team, I'm on the Blender team, and I am on the Maya team. Don't be those people, right? Don't be those people. You want to know both, because as we have decided, both of them have got their strengths, right? So you don't know exactly where you're going to land up in life. So what I suggest, right, is learn both, right? On this channel, I'm going to be uploading videos where I'm going to be modeling certain environments that we are going to be using in some of our gaming videos, where we create an environment that we're going to be using in Unreal Engine and sometimes even Unity. And we are going to be creating those environments both in Blender and in Maya. We're going to be creating objects and assets both in Blender and in Maya. So I would advise you take the same approach, right? So if you want to just purely you want to actually do freelance in the meantime, so that would be the way to go. Right now, try to find a way to monetize Blender, learn the skills of Blender, and try to find a way to actually get some gigs going so that you can earn some revenue. Blender will be what I would advise you to do, but at the same time, get the educational license with Maya if you can, right? Get the educational license with Maya and also start to learn Maya. So some of the environments you create in Blender, go and create them in Maya, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing on this channel, right? So it might be worth your while to just click that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out. I'm going to be creating exactly the same assets in Maya, in Blender, as well as in Maya. That will be my advice, right? Until you are more comfortable and you know exactly where your career path is projecting, because it's very difficult when you're starting out to know exactly where you're going to land up. So I would say have both running, right? Don't discriminate, right? So this is my verdict when it comes to Blender and when it comes to Maya. So you let me know down in the description, what do you think? Which one is the best for you? What have you decided? Or if you watched this video and now this is the second time you're watching the video and you're really trying to make a serious decision as to which software you're just going to dive into and you're going to be married to. So thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.